Hi, my name is Karina Barbosa, and I'll be going over the considerations for use of computer software. So first off, we have the advantages. One of the first advantages we see is the creative problem solving, primarily through use of drill and practice, testing, recreation, and guidance. Another big thing is the way that we are allowed to self-pace and work through it at our own speed. Third is the reinforcement and stimulation for learning disabilities, which we see is a very high need, especially for this group of learners. Fourth, we have program branching, which allows for differentiation, so students who are understanding the concept and really mastering it are able to move on to more difficult and advanced questions, while those that need review are given ample opportunity to do so. We see, fifth, a quick response to collection need, primarily through the use of software downloads. And last but not least, we see that the software has something available for virtually every instructional need, and that's both on the teaching side and the student learning side. Like all good things, there's also bad things. The disadvantages of computer software include an incompatibility between the software and the hardware that we're running it on, which can lead to the terrible error message that you see on the top left corner. We have poor computer programming as number 2. Not all software is created equally, and programming plays a big part in that. Number 3, we see lack of librarian privileges to install and maintain software, which sometimes means that the librarian themselves cannot do so and require assistance from the tech room or even school or district level administration. And last but not least, we see unreasonably high expectations from librarians and teachers, primarily in terms of how quickly it takes to master that software, both for themselves and for their students. Next, we move on to selection criteria. There are 10 questions we need to ask ourselves. We see the first 5 here, and we see this next 5 over here. If you notice that there's a trend, they primarily deal with: is it an easy to access software? What is the user experience like? Do we need to have a lot of prior information to engage with these software programs? And last but not least, what is the cost that's going to be associated? These are the 10 questions we need to ask ourselves for that selection criteria. Moving on to implications for collection development, we see the scope of the software collection, meaning how is this information available? Is it CD-ROM? Is it online? Who's going to be checking it out? And will they even be checking it out in the first place? On the right-hand side, we see the main thing being limited licenses. Will that mean that some can only be used in the library, or is it can only be installed on a limited number of computers? These are all things that factor into our decision making. And on top of that, for purchasing decisions, teacher input is a very big thing, which we see in the right-hand corner. Last but not least is copyright considerations. We are only allowed to have one backup copy of the program, and they cannot be used at the same time as the original. Doing so would violate copyright. And if you wanted to use it on multiple computers, you would need a site license agreement. Last but not least, anything that gets checked out of the library should have a copyright warning sticker. Thank you for your time.